So, picture this. You own a $500,000 home and somehow you feel poorer than when you were renting. Meanwhile, your friend who pays maybe $2,500 a month in rent, he just doubled his salary by moving to New York and has like 6 months of liquidity in the bank. The math isn't mathing, and honestly, it's driving you insane. Here's what nobody tells you about the American dream. You're trying to play the game of settling while you should be playing the game of hunting, and you are losing at both. I mean, you're trying to build a real estate empire while also being unable to afford a new water heater. You're mowing the lawn on a Saturday while simultaneously stressing about a job you hate because you can't quit, basically because the mortgage is due on the 1st. You're caught in this weird financial limbo where you're house rich on paper, but cash poor in reality. So my name is Frank, and I'm here today to let you understand one thing. Your ignorance is the most profitable asset on the bank's balance sheet. They don't make billions when you are smart. They make billions when you are emotional, optimistic, and, well, bad at math. The entire system is designed to keep you dreaming just so you never start calculating. So today, we stop dreaming. We are going to look at the cold, hard numbers that turn homeowners into debt servants. All right, let's start with the biggest lie. Rent is throwing money away. People think that when you buy a house, every dollar you spend is saved in the walls. But that's false. When you own a home, you still pay rent. You just pay it to different people. To understand this, you need to learn the 5% rule. This is the calculation for unrecoverable costs, money that leaves your pocket and never comes back. It works like this. The annual cost of owning a home is roughly 5% of its total value. 1% is property tax. You never get this back. It is rent you pay to the government to live on your own land. 1% is maintenance. The roof, the HVAC, the painting, this is the depreciation of the asset. You are constantly spending money just to keep the house from falling apart. And 3% is the cost of capital. This is the interest rate on your mortgage or the opportunity cost of your cash. Let's run the numbers on a $500,000 house. 5% of $500,000 is $25,000 a year. That is roughly $2,100 a month in money that is incinerated, gone, just like rent. If you can rent a similar house for less than $2,100, renting is actually mathematically cheaper than owning. You aren't throwing money away by renting, you are avoiding the hidden ownership tax. Now for the second lie. At least I'm paying down my debt. This is where the banks trick you with a little torture device called the amortization schedule. Most people think a mortgage payment is split 50-50, half to the loan, half to the bank, but it's wrong. Banks front-load the interest in the first 7 to 10 years of a 30-year mortgage. The vast majority of your payment, sometimes up to 80%, goes straight to interest. You aren't buying a house. You are renting the money to buy the house. And the rent on money is expensive. Here is the stat that should scare you. The average American moves every 7 to 10 years. This means most people sell the house right as they finish paying the interest-only phase. They spent 7 years paying the bank, built almost zero equity, and then they sell. And when they sell, the real estate agent takes 6%. Do the math. You paid 7 years of interest. You paid property taxes. You paid for a new roof. Then you paid an agent $30,000 to sell it. Unless the market exploded up, you often walk away with less money than you started with. That is not an investment. That is a liability. Let's go through the final and most dangerous lie. The idea that a house is a wealth builder. Robert Shiller, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, tracked home prices from 1890 to today. Adjusted for inflation, home prices have increased by only 0.2% per year over the last century. Houses track inflation. They do not beat it. But you know what does beat it? I'm the S&P 500. This is called opportunity cost. Let's say you have $100,000 for a down payment. The first option, you trap it in a house. It grows at 3% a year. You can't spend it. You can't sell a bathroom if you lose your job. It is dead equity. The second option, you rent and you put that $100,000 into the S&P 500. Historically, the market returns 8 to 10%. Using the rule of 72, that money doubles every 7 to 9 years. In 30 years, that money in the house might be worth $240,000. In the market, That same money could be worth $1.7 million. By locking your cash in drywall, you are costing yourself millions in future wealth. You are choosing a forced savings account with a terrible interest rate over a wealth compounding machine. So, am I telling you to be homeless? No, I'm telling you to stop confusing consumption with investment. A primary residence is a luxury good. It's like a BMW. It's nice to have, it's comfortable, but it costs money to own. It doesn't make you money. The wealthy follow a different rule. Rent where you live, own what you rent. If you want exposure to real estate, buy a rental property, buy a duplex, buy a real estate investment trust. Let someone else pay the interest. Let someone else pay the phantom costs. That is an asset. Your house is a liability. Here's your checklist before you even think about signing a mortgage. 1. The 10-year rule. Are you 100% sure you will live in this exact spot for 10 years? If not, the closing costs and agent fees will destroy your profit. 2. The 5% test. Is the monthly rent for a similar place cheaper than the unrecoverable costs? If rent is cheaper, invest the difference. 3. The liquidity check. Do you have access to cash outside of the house? If all your money is in the down payment, you are one layoff away from disaster. Look, the American dream of the 1950s was built on cheap housing and high interest rates, but that world is gone. In 2026, the new dream isn't a 30-year mortgage chain, it's freedom, liquidity, and having options. So, don't let a bank or a broke real estate agent tell you what success looks like. Do the math yourself, and if the math says rent, then rent. Invest the difference, and let your landlord worry about the plumbing. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.